Welcome to today's team building training. This one is going to be titled The Ideal Prospect. So, I want to talk yesterday. If you were on yesterday's Leadership Live, we went through the whole process, right? Of from A to Z when someone gets started, what to do with them, how to invite them in, etc. So we're going to start breaking down each one, and on following next Monday, we're going to be going through how to do the game plan, which is critical because that's really when you're getting a good investment of time. You're helping to find out where the type of soil or the type, we talk about red apples, green apples, rotten apples. If you're picking apples, you're going out to the apple orchard looking for apples and you got a basket, you're putting apples in and you see one on the tree and it's red and you grab it and you put it in. Another one's red. What do you do with the green ones? Just leave them on the tree, right? You don't pull them off. And you certainly don't take the red ones off the ground. They've already fallen to the ground. You got bees flying around them. You're not looking for those. You're looking for the right type of apples. Well, using that same philosophy here, you're building a team that you're going to invest in, and you're building a team that you want to help duplicate. I mean, you want it to grow away from you. You want it to scale. You may have heard the term scale. And what causes scale is something that's repeatable and then takes place. All right. So individuals who will learn it and teach it and do it. That's what you're looking for. You're not just looking for someone who wants to be involved. We're talking about team building here. You're not just looking for someone who wants to be involved. You're looking for someone who wants to understand our funding, understand where it fits in the marketplace, is proud of it, and wants to tell others about it. And they know we're not for everybody. They know the funding is not the right funding for everybody, but it is for a lot of people. And you don't know until you talk to the business owner. So they meet, greet, and they inform. They're not tied to the outcome. They don't look at it and go, well, I don't have any commissions yet, so this must not work. They look at it and go, how many people am I informing? So really, you want to make sure you're informing enough people. As you're informing more and more people, what happens is you then have, of course, dopamine going to your mind that you're doing the right thing. You're spreading awareness. As you spread awareness and you demonstrate expertise, write that down. Spread awareness and demonstrate expertise. You may be a bird dog just trying to get referrals, but they're going to be confident in you or they're not, right? So the extent you understand our funding and understand where it fits and doesn't fit is better off. I had someone text me yesterday and said, I've got someone who's applied for funding. They want the status update. Okay, so I replied to them that you should have status updates in your email and you have them in your back office. So I'd start there. And he said, the client is calling me, asking me for the status update. I said, well, your client will be told too. So I assumed it was in the application sequence, waiting to get funding or waiting to get an offer. So I said, if he hasn't gotten an offer yet, and it's been almost a business day, we're probably still trying to secure an offer for him. If he hasn't heard declined or an offer, we're probably still trying to secure an offer. So as I looked into it, it was declined immediately for not doing enough revenue. Right now, he had an email that already said that. The agent already had an email that said your client has been declined because monthly revenue below minimum requirement. And not only that, the client was also told. So that becomes an inefficiency, right? It's an inefficiency because I'm having to answer, I'm having to research, I'm looking in it, or I'm sending it off to support to do, or Wade's getting the call when the agent had everything from the emails went right in, right? So it's okay. Agents learn, right? That's how you learn. Um, but in doing so, if that happens a second time and a third time, if that agent doesn't learn from it and it happens again or again, and they keep reaching out to me, at what point is it a bad investment of my time? At what point do you say it's a bad investment of time to continuing to individually support the person who's not even reading their emails from us, right? So that's not the case in this example. I'm just giving an example of what you will go through. So what you're looking for in your team building is you're building an income producing asset if they're an income producing agent or build an income producing team. Otherwise, you're getting a liability. When we sponsor, let's say we enroll 1,000 new agents this month, that's a liability to DAC. It's a potential asset, but it's a liability to DAC because we support all those people. So it's a financial liability in the short term for a potential long-term benefit, right? Because you would anticipate there's going to be a lot of those thousand agents who are very productive, but there's a lot of those thousands agents who are very dependent as well. So you're going through the same thing. So what I want to talk to you about today is the ideal candidate so that you can save a lot of years of time or a lot of hours of time to know that you've got the right type facility. So if we went and bought 10 homes, we're going to be in the real estate business together. We buy 10 rental properties, and those 10 rental properties are on a street where it's all run down and nobody really wants to live on that street, and there's crime all over on that street. But we rebuild those houses up. We make them look really good. But if you go across the street, there's a burnt down house and there's lawn 3 feet tall. There's rats living in that lawn. And then if you go next door, there's boarded up windows. Are we going to be able to get as much rent for the property? No. So are we in now? Those could be opportunities to buy all those lots, right? Maybe we could become, buy the whole lot. But if we don't have the money to do that, do we eventually say it's not a good use of? Maybe we shouldn't be putting brand new cabinets in these houses here where we're not going to be able to rent them out anytime soon, or we're going to have to rent them for less than what we're paying. So this is common sense, right? Location, location, location. Well, in our business, it's prospect, prospect, prospect. It's who the person is. Now, you don't know. People will tell you they're going to do a bunch. They may even be real active and engaged in things. That doesn't mean they're going to produce. And we can't blame them. Some people try and just, it's not their thing. But you don't know. So we say, don't prejudge. You're not responsible necessarily if they're a red apple, green apple, or rotten apple. When you're picking those apples, if you find out it's a rotten apple, you don't put it in the bushel, right? And a rotten apple in our case is someone who is not interested. It doesn't mean they're negative. You'll get some negative people too. But I haven't had a negative person, I don't know if ever in my 30 something years in this business, because when I approach people, I approach them in a professional manner. And I've never had anyone go, oh, that's a pyramid thing. I've never had that. I've just never had it in 30 something years. Or, oh, is that one of those things where you got to get other people in? Never had it. But my approach has never been just a passive, make money outside of what you're doing, because I'm having a leadership type discussion. I'm looking for partners. I just hung up with a funding partner of ours about some long-term equity relationships we might be able to build to bring better products to the marketplace. It's an hour-long conversation. You're talking big boy and big girl stuff, right? Those are the type of conversations you can have with your ideal candidates. Now, like Carl signed up through Alignable. You can run ads and get some people who join through ads. As long as you're doing the follow up and doing the work. I mean, you can call people and tell them you're looking to build a partnership. But the ideal candidate is someone who will be duplicatable. They'll learn the DAC way, meaning they understand the funding in and out. They understand who we're good for, who we're not. They're not trying to hammer in someone into debt. They're trying to help a business out. They're a servant leader. So if they exhibit all that, great, check. That's good. And then you go to the next step and okay, do they want to build a team? They don't have to want to build a team. They could just be an active agent doing well. But if they also want to build a team, are you going to learn it the DAC way? Are you going to teach the DAC way? Are you going to understand the DAC way? Are you going to say, great. Are you going to be actively leading a market, or are you just going to be referring people? So the Mondays are for people who want to actively lead a market. That's what Mondays are for. So some of those people, you'll invite them to attend the Monday Live, and they'll want to be on that. They want to help lead and develop a market. That's who I was. I wanted to go open new markets, not just my backyard, because I'm like, man, no one in Mount Pleasant knows this. No one in Troy, Michigan knows about this. No one in Novi does. I got an apartment in another city while I had my house, because I wanted to be able to go out there and work 3-4 days a week, and it was a 2-hour drive. So, that if you really got someone dedicated to leading a market, they're going to open that market and make sure it succeeds. But they don't just happen. So, you looking for people, they're either an agent, okay, or an affiliate. They're referring clients. It's number one, or they're a agent and team builder, or they're an agent, team builder, and leader. Those are the three types of prospects you have. The last one, the team leader, is what's going to replicate and duplicate and exponentially grow your sales team. The second one will help lead to other leaders, right? And the first one will help generate revenue and clients. So client getter and team builder, client getter, team builder, and leader. Those are the three things. So you want to have these discussions with people. In the game plan, we do that. We find out, are you looking just to get clients? Not just. Are you here to be a client? Do you also want to build a team? Take advantage of that? Yeah. Do you want to help lead and develop a team? Yeah. Okay, great. That's who you're looking for, obviously. So when you're having these discussions with people, if that's your intention, you're going to attract them, right? If I went to a gym tomorrow and you're my trainer and you say, David, what is it you're trying to do? And I say, well, I want to lose weight. I want to not lose muscle. And I want to, just have healthier blood chemistries. Okay. You're not going to put me on heavy weights, low reps. That's for adding size. You may put the 22-year-old who says, I'm feeling small. I want to add bulk. Okay, so they're going to do heavy weights, free weights, low amount of reps. For me, they may put light weights, high reps, so I don't lose strength. And then I'm going to do cardio and I'm going to change my diet up to lose fat. It's what are we trying to accomplish here? So we need to know what their goal is. Are they looking to just make some extra money getting clients or make full-time money getting clients? Great, that changes the activity level. Are they looking to build a team or refer a team and help lead it, or just refer a team? Just refer a team. Okay, great. That creates an activity level. Help lead and develop, activity level. If you want to lead and develop, you need to know how to do a game plan. You need to know how to do the business opportunity overview. You got to know why we do the 4 steps. You got to know what the intention is of the game plan, what you do out of the game plan, how you track their activity, how do you go open that new market. So you got to understand the different things based on their recipe. There's a different recipe for each one, is I guess is the answer. So you want to find out as you're building team, where do they stand? Mondays are for the team leaders. Tuesdays are for the team builders. Fridays are for the agents who just want to get clients, and Wednesdays are funding, obviously training. Tomorrow, Wade's going to be talking about how to network in your local markets, right? So how to dominate locally. So I just hung up with a funder today who we were talking because they're like, you guys are the only one in the nation doing what you're doing. You're the only one. You're so unique. And you guys are putting boots on the ground. Every other ISO we have, every other company we have that's getting clients are using telemarketers, or they're using postcards, or they're using text marketing, and it's all stranger business. It's all stranger. They're buying leads, spending a lot of money on leads, scraping databases. It's very hard to figure this thing out, and they say what they need to say to get the clients. And we get a lot of clients we get an offer to, and then they're upset because they were misled by the broker over the phone. And right, you guys are unique in that you literally have most of your businesses coming from local markets. You've literally got a monopoly when it comes to that. No one else is doing it. I said, I know. And I've told them our scale plan is to do that, to focus on that more and more and more and more, because that's our competitive advantage over everybody else. That's what our lenders like. That's why they give us better offers. He said flat out, your default rate is so much lower because the relationships are with the client are different than a telemarketer just happened to call in. And so your default rate is so much lower. And of course, he said, and the Bank Breezy team, you guys don't send us certain things. You help us out. If you know certain things, you tell us. I mean, when you send an application to 20 providers and 3 of them come back and say, hey, they got fraud in their background for ABC, and this provider didn't see it and this one didn't see it, we tell them. We say, hey, babe, by the way, they found some fraud. You may want to look into that. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not. But we share. We take care of the clients, and that's why they put us to the top, or take care of our funders. They put us top of the list, and they want to fund. They compete for the business. They compete for the business. So it's the same thing with this. When you're building a team, if you want the competitive advantage to scale, if you're looking for the long play, which is 2 years from now, how many active agents do you have doing successful funding? If that's what you're looking for, then build for the long play. You got to dig the foundation, and you got to pour the concrete. And before you see the first level, there's a lot of work going on. I live in a golf community, and there's one lot left in this whole community. It's our neighbors, and next to me. And I'm not real excited for it. We've just been here 20 years and it's always been a wooded lot next. So it's a small lot. It's like half acre or quarter acre. I don't even know what it is. Small subdivision lot, but it's always been woods. So we've always used it as, we've had a trampoline over there and the girls would sleep out in their tents over there. And, we dump our leaves over there and, grass clippings and stuff like that. So it's always just been our thing. Well, there's a tractor out there now. It's been out there for a month. They're ready to start. They lined it all up. They marked it all off. They cut all the trees away. They're going to remove. They're building a house. Well, they put a porta john up there. All this stuff is a part of building a house, right? You got to then, after they mark it, they came in our yard and had to talk to us because there's some gas lines. They wanted to do the marking. They wanted to see where things are. Our lawn is on their property just because over years it's grown. So they're telling us, hey, we're going to be cutting through here, and no problem. All these aggravations, they had to come talk to us. The builder's got to deal with all this, right? But dig that foundation. There's going to be dirt all over, rocks all over. They're going to have to deal with that, and they're going to build the concrete, and they're right. All the stuff that goes into the house, and at the very end, they're going to do landscaping. It's going to be a beautiful house, but the builder's got to deal with a lot of crap, spending money, doing a lot of stuff. That's where you're at. You're in the build mode. You're in the build mode until you're in the maturity mode where you're reaping the rewards of it. You're building a high rise here. You're building a high rise. Don't forget that, but don't wait to start it. We are building an asset here, an income producing asset. And if you've got 10 leaders, it's like you got a 10-story building. It's going to generate 10 stories worth of rentals every single month. You're going to be getting paid nice overrides and renewals and what other services, that we add to this. You get extra scale and extra revenue growth by adding to your current customers other services, payment processing, et cetera. So what you're building is dependent on having the right foundation. So don't just take anybody. Recruit for those three types of people. But the most important, and again, someone who wants to get clients, make full, the training we did yesterday, we talked about, we got a great vision for people who just want to make full-time money getting customers. We got a great vision for people who want to build a team and earn overrides. And we got a great vision for people who want to lead a market and build exponential growth and get huge overrides. So you're looking for people who want to play one of those three things. It's common sense to some of you, I know, but others are they're getting 7 or 8 people in and they've never found out which one are you. They don't know what the goal is. So what kind of recipe can they help them have? They don't know. So you want to find out on the front end. And I say it comes down to the conversation. So that's all I wanted to say today. I want to go to your questions. If anyone has any questions about anything, the learning management software, I'll just give you an update on it, is going to have the business funding training and a couple other telemarketing policies and some policies and procedures, a couple comp plan things in this pre-sign up. That's going to be going live soon. And when that goes live, someone will have to go through that before they're an agent with us. They'll be a referral partner otherwise and get paid a lot less. In case you have an attorney or something who does not want to go through the training, but they want to be a referral partner, okay, they can be a referral affiliate for us and sign up and just refer clients, but they're going to get paid very little compared to an agent. So that's going live soon, and that's going to help sort, because we're going to be asking those type questions and we're going to be given a recipe based on how they answer. But there's no reason for you to not already have that language in your head. We're also working on the Partner With Us page to make it more of I won't call it a funnel, but it's going to sort people out better because there's going to be a process, including training, right? They're going to have to get trained, and we're improving that. It's going to be more something like you'd see on a landing page that asks some questions, find out if they want to proceed to the next level, find out if they want to proceed to the next level, and then obviously they end up in the LMS system. So that's going to help scale because you're gonna help reduce waste of time. So we're improving. We have every intention when this goes live to ramp our recruiting up to thousands of agents monthly immediately. And hopefully you and your team are participating in that because that's what's going to generate a tremendous amount of overrides. Professionalism first, servanthood first, scale second. You can't scale without the first ones. All right, let's go to your questions. I'm going to see if there's any on the chat. While I'm looking at the chat, if anyone has their hand up, support, if you want to call on them, that'd be great. If anyone who's moderating.
Carl has his hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, Carl, how are you, buddy?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing great, my friend.
So hey, I've been attending these Zoom meetings as much as I possibly can, and my business isn't growing. Can you explain that to me?
You're attending the meetings and your business isn't growing.
I'm
This
trying to
is,
be a little funny there.
yeah, yeah,
There's
your business
there's a
is
lot of
growing.
somber faces here this morning. So
Yeah, I would say this. We all know your business is growing actually, which is good. Um, yeah, I know what you're getting at. Guys, I was on a training by Alex Hermosi. Some of you guys may know that name. I was watching him 1 o'clock in the morning last night and getting some great tips. And, as is the case in anything, you can lead a horse to water.
yeah,
So some people drink even when you don't lead them there. Other people don't drink when you force them there. All we do is salt the oats. The reason I'm talking about the high rise is to instill, hopefully, some inspiration. Um, Carl, you've been around this industry long enough. You know the value of it. So,
I did.
guys,
I did
we're
want
not prospecting. We're not growing. It's that simple. You got to plant seeds to have a harvest.
I I did want to share something besides my humor. Um, so yeah, you just never know. I went out yesterday afternoon. I grabbed a stack of my flyers, went into an area that's mostly boat business people because I'm 40 years in the industry, and
Yep.
it's really easy for me to create dialogue and conversation with them. So first thing is, if you're out there doing it, find something that you're passionate about and find those people so that you can speak their language. Now, the second thing is under you just never know. I got two people out of those conversations that may end up coming on as agents instead of clients. One of them is at a local custom wood provider. And this is a funny story, and this is going to click with people. I was like, Seafarer doesn't need my money. I know the company. I know they're completely solvent. I'm like, but you know what? I'm going to go in and see my girl in there that I've known for years anyway. And I gave her the card, and she's currently a referral partner and may very well become an agent. She's like, well, let me send a couple people, see how this works, and then we'll go from there. So you really just never know. And there was a couple of doors I didn't want to knock on or walk into yesterday, and I ended up with great conversations with them as well.
Yep. Well, but you said you didn't want to, but you ended up with great conversations. So help everyone who doesn't want to and then doesn't. What did you tell yourself from when doesn't want to did it anyway?
Well, it's again, this is certainly a business of do not prejudge. You do not know anybody's circumstances. You don't know what's behind that door. And it's always a thing of because there's not just boat business people. Actually the two that I didn't want to talk to were not boat business. But I don't have a problem with talking to anybody, so I opened the door and walked in anyway. I mean, I got in trouble in one because there was a no soliciting sign on the front door. And I said, "Oh, gee, I'm so sorry. I was trying to help you out if you needed some money. I didn't realize I was soliciting. Here's my card. Have a nice day." And out the door I went. But yeah,
But
you just never know.
well, when you first started, I bet if you're anything like I was or like most people, when you first start, some people are just naturally built with the ability to just walk in and talk to people and they're okay with it. Um, Other people aren't, but over time they get comfortable with it. And you get to the point where you're just willing to you get that tinge feeling of maybe I shouldn't, but you go, it's no, I always have to tell myself, um, this could be this could be a life changer for the person. If I don't mention it to them, they maybe have a job that they're going to get laid off of 6 months from now. They may have a retirement that's not set. They may have a cruddy last 20 years of their lives because they don't have retirement set up. And they've got anxiety because they know their job is on the line. In a town, if you ever have a town where they're talking about layoffs, go meet with some of the families. Go talk to some of the family. They're freaking out, anxious because their foundation could get pulled from them at any time. So people are living out there with these fears when you're talking about our business opportunity, and others don't go there. They just don't go there that they've got a life jacket. They've got a life jacket. Up in our closet here in our right outside of our oven, my mother-in-law had a grease fire and she burned her hand real bad. And so we've got in our kitchen right next to where we have a gas stove, we've got one of those new fire blankets you just throw over everything. We've got that. We've got an anti-choking thing. Hopefully you'll never need. We got a smoke fire extinguisher. These are all life-saving things that we'll probably never need, right? But they're there. DAC is like a fire extinguisher for people. It puts out a fire, but you have to apply it in advance. And we've got that to offer people. It's like you were sitting on the side of a Colorado River and you see all these people going by in kayaks without life jackets. And you're like, are you kidding me? You're about to go in the rapids. Here, grab a life, just put this on, put this helmet on, go now, go have a blast. Jump off the waterfall if you want, but at least put a life jacket and a helmet on. And because you're being mindful. Well, that's what this business is. And if you don't look at it that way, you don't have as many conversations. If you don't look at it as, hey, I could be setting someone free, if you're only looking at what you can make out of it, then you may not have many conversations. So something made Carl go talk to them. Something makes me, and right now I'm not in a big recruiting mode. I'm in a management mode where I've not called someone to become an agent. I've signed up a few agents just for my online posts, but I've not called someone. I'm not prospecting right now for agents. I'm not even prospecting for clients. If I come across people, maybe I'm in management mode right now and I get renewals and I get some fundings, but I'm not out there going, okay, I'm going to do 1 hour a day of prospecting or 3 hours a day of prospecting. I'm going to go to these chamber meetings today. Right. This week is like, let's get the LMS launch. It's all 8 to faint is what I'm working on, is getting the systems live. But then it's like, it's running itself at that point. It's a turnkey. And at that point, it's like, I need to recruit 10 or 11 people a day and approach 10 or 11 people a day about the business opportunity, and approach another 30 or 40 a day about the funding. And let's drive my personal income. And if I'm doing it and you're doing it, we're all doing it. We've got a monopoly on this, guys, because no one's doing it local. So you don't need to wait because you don't need to build the stuff. The stuff's already built. You just got to get your business cards and your conversations and get after it, right? We got to start doing it, but focus on how you're helping them. You're not responsible for the outcome. Share what you believe about our business to prospects. Share what you believe about our funding to business owners. And I wouldn't be able to share it if I didn't say, yes, it's very expensive money for people without a good idea. Super expensive. If I can't say that, I feel like I'm throwing dead at them. So if people ask me about the cost, I flat out tell them, how much is it? Oh, it's steep money. It's not like bank rates. It's expensive if you don't have a good reason for the money. If you're not going to drive profit out of it, it's expensive. So it really comes down to the use of the funds, whether it's expensive or not. Otherwise, if you don't have any use, it's expensive money. 5 cents on a dollar is expensive if you have no use. And now I'm comfortable. I can talk to everyone about it. Right. And that works for me. I know everyone's got their own styles. That's what works for me, because I can easily show them, and I do tell them stories. Same thing with the biz op. Hey, you get started with this, you may make zero. You could absolutely make zero with our business. I can't promise you're going to make commissions, but you could also make 6 figures this year and don't have to become licensed. We got all the training for you. You can literally flip a switch on your retirement this year, 25. You could catch up 30 years of work where you didn't save for 30 years. You could do it all this year. This year, you could put 100 grand in your retirement or more. And you could also build a team if you want and give that same opportunity to others. And we're looking for people who want to help lead and develop a team. And if they're not interested, they're not interested. But I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And I think I told the story last week of how I went up to Mount Pleasant and had the bold conversation of lead and develop. And I didn't tell you guys, but from that meeting, I want to say there's about $8 billion worth of productions come from that meeting. 8 billion has come from that meeting of 13 people. So and that came from one person who was going to school up there at the little college in Central Michigan University. And that recruited someone who recruited someone who recruited someone who did that. Boom. And that recruited this person who did that. Boom. And that recruited this person who did that. Boom. But it all came from me stepping out of my comfort zone and having the boldness to talk to people. Those billions don't happen. They don't happen without it. Now, maybe they go to other, they stumble onto this anyway, but there's a reaction, a chain reaction, a ripple effect that happens from you opening your mouth and having a conversation. The next one might be the one. Now, when it costs $5,000 to start, I could see why you'd say, it may be, but I don't want to risk anyone's $5 grand anymore. I get it. I was there. That's why we're free. If it was $100 to start and you're making 80 of the $100 and you go, yeah, but if I recruit 100 people, I make 8 grand and they could lose 10 grand. And so it could be the next one, but I may also be taking $100 a month from somebody. I get it why you'd go, I don't know. We're free and they can make the money. And if they don't, you don't make money on them. That's pretty spectacular. Sonny Mendez has got his hand up, or her hand, I think. I can't tell. Sonny, Sonn. Yep. You want to unmute yourself, Sonny, and you got a question for us?
Good morning. Thank you for your lengthy explanation. I have a question. My background is in health insurance, and I understand that you're no longer using any plans that require licensing. Would you consider adding AmeriPlan in their benefits to our portfolio?
AmeriPlan, are you talking about the dental?
They have prescription, they have medical discount, they got everything.
Yeah, that requires a license, right?
Nope.
Okay. I think I've looked at that. We're to be transparent with you, we're not adding other services right now until we create scale. We're leading with funding and payment processing right now. Healthcare, we've got it for health share, but so we're not gonna dilute the market right now. I mean, you could send me some information and
Okay.
I'll look at something, but I will promise you for the next few months, we're not adding any other services.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I took the initiative was that you canceled out or the pharmacy aspect of my portfolio, and they offer that in AmeriPlan.
Yeah, we could launch it again. We've actually got a wholesale agreement for it. We've chose not to. We actually have everything where we could do it ourselves and got the suppliers. But we're choosing to stay away from that right now. We back down. We're all in on our monopoly and our funding, followed up with payment processing. And because we're the only one doing what we're doing, so we're going to lead with this. And just like Keller Williams became the world's largest real estate company by doubling down on a different way of doing real estate. And then EXP came and passed them, and then Real came and now they're on their way. We think we're creating a new industry, a way people do funding, and it won't just be business funding. There'll be other services we're looking at that fit business funding, but we're doubling down on scaling our rep base, our agent base, professional agent base with funding as our key product. And so that's where we're focused. But I appreciate you. And anyone who's got any of the product ideas, you can send them to me. I get a couple a week, and I'm just telling them all right now we're in a freeze. We're not looking to add any services, but I consider everything because you never know where you're going to see something that goes, oh, maybe this should wet our whistle a little bit. But all in all, it's kind of like we've got a monopoly on what we're doing. We're the only ones doing it. Let's go get so far ahead, no one can ever catch us. Carl, did you have another question? You see your hand still up?
Yeah, I did. I had just a quick comment and another share. I know you usually look at the chat at the end, but there's a lot of people asking about their links and stuff. What I tell my team immediately when you get that welcome letter, copy and paste it into a Word document and put it on your computer. So every time you need a link, you don't have to go back and find that email. You can literally open up your Word document, copy and paste your link, and share it. The other thing is, I just, by dumb luck yesterday, I Googled job fair Fort Lauderdale, and it just happens it's tomorrow. And for $50, I get to go to a 2-hour networking breakfast prior to the Broward County job fair, free to get in. So don't anybody that says I can't figure out how to go find new agents or find prospects, Google meetups. Find specific industries and go after them. So just another share.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks. These are testimonials and ideas, guys. I appreciate you sharing, Carl. I will say this in closing. When you're looking out there, running ads, things like that, you can do it. There's a time you expend into it. I will tell you that as we get our LMS live, and it becomes more of a funnel, it then becomes a lot more worth advertising, even investing money in advertising, because the system is going to sort for you. The system should only have outputs of the right agents. That's our goal, is to have it the right agent is joining. and only the right agent. So you won't be wasting time with people who aren't willing to be dedicated. And again, if you're a personal trainer and you only benefit on the people you help lose weight or get off the pharmaceutical or get in better shape, and no one's coming to the gym, you're failing as a personal trainer. But it's not your abilities, it's your students. Some of you have students who aren't showing up to the gym. They don't even know that you can go to the gym 24/7. They don't know that there's a shower there. They don't know there's workout plans. They're not even plugged in. They're really not members of the gym. They're just paying a monthly membership. You have agents, some of you have agents who are like those people. They don't go into their back office. They don't know where their back office is. They don't know we have a resource center. They didn't read their welcome letter. They're not really agents, right? Their name's on a database. So follow up, go through our process we did yesterday, follow up with them and find out, do game plans with the right ones. But we're hoping to skirt that out with our new onboarding page going live in the near term. By the way, the funding page updated yesterday. We're leading with the platform more than just business funding. Everyone says business funding. What makes DAC unique is we represent all the top funders. We're like Travelocity, not Delta. And so we're not just leading with flights. We're leading with the best price on flights, right? So, but ours is funding, of course. So check out the new funding page. I think you'll like it. If you just type that into your Facebook page or Instagram or any of them, it pulls up the image that says 20 plus providers, one simple application. And then the page talks more about the platform. And so we think that's going to have higher conversion because it's really showing our differentiation. Jose's got his hand up. So we'll go to Jose and then we'll bring this home. So we're already over 30 minutes. Go ahead, Jose.
Okay,
On that, Jose, I'm going to
page.
read the chat.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, buddy.
Okay, on that page, do we put business hyphen capital?
Yeah, so what you do, I'm going to teach this for all pages rather than just answering it. Go to the David Allen Capital website, go to whatever page you want, whatever page that is, whether it's gig funding, partner with us, you pick a page, click on it, it's in your address bar, copy it, put a slash, put your ID at the end. That's your replicated site. Every site we have is replicatable. All you have to do is slash ID number at the end of the site. So yeah, it's davidallencapital.com/business-capital/your ID number. If you type that into Facebook, it'll pull up the image. It says apply now. And if they click on it, it goes to your replicated site. Same thing if you do it on Instagram or if you email or you text someone that link, make sure you put your ID number at the end. All right, ID number or username.
All right, thanks.
Yep, thank you. And that business capital is the one that talks about it, though. All right, hey, guys, don't give up on yourselves. If you're a little afraid, tell your enroller. Fear is normal. Fear is normal until you're no longer afraid. So don't quit because you're afraid, but at least confess it so that we can work through it. All right, God